pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. We have a terrific Tuesday and a full Tuesday in the works for you. So I'm so excited that we got Am Tehuti Khamau. He is here joining us via StreamYard all the way from the East Coast. We're going to be talking about an upcoming event that he is coming to Seattle for. First time here for the community. So we're so excited to have him. We'll be talking more about that. And then later on in the show, I get to connect with two amazing female powerhouses from CCER, Community Center for Education Results. They're going to be talking about the organization, the work they do, and also an amazing upcoming event that they have going on with their Regional Alignment Convening. So I'm so excited to have everyone here in the building joining me today. But I'm excited because y'all know it is the top of the show. So it's a perfect time to tag and share this stream. That's right. Participate with us. Go ahead and share the stream with folks who could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch our TV show, we still have you covered because you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network in the Day with Trae. Y'all will find me on Google, Spotify, iTunes, whichever platform is your favorite. Go ahead and search for us and you'll find us there. Well, up next, y'all, we got a powerhouse in the building because Am Tehuti Khamau is joining us all the way from Philly. Hi, Hetepu.
Peace and blessings.
Hi, peace and blessings. How are you today?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm excited to be on the Day with Trae, Trayana.
So glad that you have time in your schedule to join us. Well, this is exciting because you're going to be here on the 28th of January at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute to really guide folks through setting up some intentionality with their goals for 2024, not only with the journal, but also with some insight to how their date and time of birth plays into how they're setting up those goals. Just tell us, before we get into the event, a bit about what got you into the Ausar Auset Society and why you have chosen this path and how you really help folks along the way.
Well, I was just very blessed to be at a tender age of about to turn 21 years old, graduate from college, and looking at the options, looking ahead, like a lot of people, I was like, there's got to be more to life than this, you know? I need to find spirituality. And I can remember the day that I articulated to myself, I need to find God. And I know that God is within. It's not in a book somewhere. And the very next week, I was handed a flyer for a meditation class. And it was a free meditation class. And it was up in Harlem. So I was like, what? You know? And walked into the Brownstone up in Harlem, 138th Street. And there I met my teacher and a person who's become such a mentor, such a coach, such a guide, such a brilliant light for not just myself, but for hundreds of thousands of people. That's Ra'um Nefer Amen. And I was just fortunate, you know, I came at the right time and I was able to sit before him every week as he delivered such an education on comedic spirituality, but not just comedic spirituality, just world spirituality, and how it all syncretized together and had reached its height in Kemet and Indus Kush, Sumer, and so forth. So it's been a wonderful 40 years now of training and experience. And I'm just blessed and so delighted to be able to share what I've learned and what I've benefited from with as many people as I can.
Absolutely. And it's been great to see so much out there now with amazing workshops and webinars that have been getting put on. You are right there kind of guiding folks through it when Ra'u Nefer, or also known as Shechem, comes on to really share some knowledge and information. We've seen a couple of different things come out with the Ma'at 11 Laws course and then the Winter Solstice course, which we're in right now. And a lot of what you're going to be sharing in the event on the 28th is connected to all of that. But before I get into it, I also got to acknowledge that you are a Paramount King. You have the title of Ur Aua, and I want you to be able to tell folks what that really means in terms of some of the responsibilities that you carry for the community out there and beyond.
Well, when we formed an organization, understanding that, just to study in some type of an association was not enough. We needed to have a living vehicle, a way to live spirituality together, a way to enter into relationships of trust and cooperation, marriage, family, build businesses, build community together. We were guided to choose the African-centered model, and that is the African king and queenship. So our Shechem is the king and the leader of our society, the founder of our society. And in his wisdom, he's appointed many women and a few men to the positions of leadership to govern over our regions that we operate our society in. And my person was fortunate enough to be given that honor and to do my best to fulfill its duties, which are, teaching and training the general community, as well as supporting the development of our priesthood, which are bodies of men and women that have dedicated their lives to mastering the Kemetic spirituality and to be able to guide and counsel, teach and support others. So those are the responsibilities that I've been blessed with. And that has included, fortunately, in our development, the ability to have a physical space that we have in Philadelphia where we can host events, we can have classes and our rituals and ceremonies, and we've been able to operate that for the last 29 years. So it's been good. Anybody coming to Philadelphia, welcome to visit us.
Absolutely. I can't wait to come down there and check it out myself. Well, this is exciting because, a lot of this information and knowledge and really the practice of Kemetic science is pretty new for the Pacific Northwest. So I'm really grateful that you have some time to come out here and really bring this to the Pacific Northwest. There is a journal that you have created that really guides folks through affirming their goals and understanding how their goals throughout the year can really benefit their spiritual development. Tell us more about what some of the attendees can expect by coming to Langston on the 28th at 1 p.m.
Well, we're all living in the world, which means that we have things to do. We have goals that we need to accomplish. We have challenges that we're constantly met with. Personal challenges, family challenges, community challenges, world societal challenges. And the beauty of Kemetic spirituality, when it's properly understood, is that, it's a partnership. It's a two-way street. Spirituality is not something you develop outside of your applications in the world. Spirituality should foster your success in the world. In fact, spiritual systems are really success systems. And a lot of the things that we've been given as success systems, everything back from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People to, Think and Grow Rich and what have you, are models that pick and choose parts of spiritual systems and give them to us, The Secret and so forth, creative visualization, using affirmations. All of these things are elements of a system, but it's not the complete system. And we're fortunate that our ancestors, some of our greatest ancestors that left us the Kemetic civilization, we're talking about ancient Egypt, that stands as an evidence of success in being able to have a stable society for over 3,000 years without politically falling apart. As we look around the world and see all this instability, right? That was the evidence of a spiritual system. And they have a complete spiritual system that incorporates all the elements that you need to succeed. So one of the things I'll be sharing is from my 40 years of experience with my own challenges and with helping others are the 3 critical things that you might be missing in your attempts to achieve your goals, right? So that's what you're going to learn this weekend. And we're going to be very practical, very hands-on, and able to give you a executionable, an actionable agenda to help to make this a very successful 2024 for you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited to be there with you on the 28th, and to also make sure that folks here understand that there's a huge benefit to joining this event. So I know it's happening. The doors are opening at 12:30 on the 28th, right there at Langston. It's going to be a phenomenal event, jam-packed with a bunch of healing stations. Folks will be able to understand a little bit about how their birth and time also plays into exactly what you're describing. And they'll be able to walk away with this journal that can guide them through month over month to understand their spiritual development. Mr. Am Tehuti Khamau, Ur Aua, we are so grateful that you had time to share with us today. Of course, if people want to know more or connect with you, please let them know your website, how they connect more if they have questions about Ausar Auset Society.
Great. Well, I think the best place to start right now would be to go to KamiticLegacy.com. Kamitic Legacy is spelled Kamitic, legacy.com. That tells you all about our society in general, the Ausar Auset Society. In terms of this event, I would go to KamiticAstrologyCalendar.com. That's Kamit, astrologycalendar.com. And you can see a sample of the Kamitic calendar and the Kamitic meditation journal. The Kamitic meditation journal is a combination of a yearly planner that incorporates journaling space as well as the technology of observing the lunar cycles. So one of the things we're going to be talking about is how to use this journal so that you can ride the natural currents. You can ride the gestational currents of the monthly cycles in terms of achieving the steps to realize your goals and your visions and your growth this year. So go to KamitAstrologyCalendar.com.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. Looking forward to being with you here, and safe travels on your journey to Seattle.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Absolutely. Oh,
all right.
wow,
Peace
y'all.
and blessings.
Peace and blessings. I'm telling you, I'm so excited. This is an amazing event. Make sure you get your tickets. You can search for this event also on Eventbrite. It's called Tap Into the Power to Manifest Your Plan. You can search for that. You can follow Ausar Auset on Instagram. There's going to be updates about how to get your tickets, and the flyer is there. But we're really excited to have him joining us. And I now get to divert into something that is really benefiting the community when it comes to our education. Up next, we have Carlina Brown-Banks. She's going to be joining us to talk more about CCER, the Community Center for Education Results, and her role there in terms of wielding these amazing education results for all of us in community. Stay tuned, y'all. That's coming up next. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Seattle Opera presents X, The Life and Times of Malcolm X. The story of one of the most misunderstood figures in U.S. history comes to McCall Hall for an exceptional night at the opera. Pulitzer Prize-winning composer Anthony Davis produces an American classic with influences from classical music, jazz, pop, blues, and more. Don't miss X, The Life and Times of Malcolm X, February 24th through March 9th at McCall Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up. Break you in then break you out. In the end we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2 we don't need no pause. Misty, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that copy my steel, face the fact.
Get ready
for a night of solid gold with the Temptations and the Four Tops. Same night, same stage. The Temptations and the Four Tops together live.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is Miss Carlina Brown-Banks. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
We talked a while ago about
Yes,
this, and
yes.
so I'm so glad because Sebrena reminded me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, me and Carlina were talking about this and having y'all on the show. But this is exciting because I want to learn a little bit more about the work y'all do.
Okay.
We know there's a need for us to elevate what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to education, especially when we see a decline in Black and Brown students in particular when it comes to academics. Tell us a bit more about CCER.
Yeah, so CCR is about 11 years old. It was started 10 years ago, being a collective impact initiative, very similar to the Harlem Zone. So taking what we learned from Jeffrey Kennedy and that work and creating collective action work. So basically in the roadmap region, we're 7 districts. We are the backbone agency of the roadmap region. And so we elevate youth and Wild State community voice. So youth is our center. And then we also have parent leadership, civic leadership, practitioner leadership that we leverage and push into areas of places that they're not necessarily always heard in there. And then we also listen to their actions that they ask us to do. And we center projects or events and or research items in that work that they're asking us to do. So really centering the community, the youth in that space, listening to them and moving forward. So several different ways of doing it, and collective action and system improvement. I like to say system generation because I don't know if we can actually transform this certain system.
Yeah.
So how do we generate a new system for us?
Oh, this is really important, but it's also a large body of work. And
Yes.
you as the deputy director, I want to hear more about your specific role in this large body of work.
Yeah, so I started in this work as a Vista AmeriCorps person right out of South Seattle, working with Rainier Beach High School and the PTSA. So I started as a volunteer, and then I came in, and now after about 10 years serving, deputy director. So deputy director, I lead the impact team, and the impact team is our family and community engagement work, our data and research work. We also have a college and career leadership work and our opportunity work. So in that space, setting up, de-siloing that across, knowing that we're on a continuum and that we are building, we are supporting areas where we can either influence, inform, or leverage change that is happening within our education system in these 7 districts. So it's like having 7 different children that are working, and then you're trying to find those hot spots or those amazing spots that we can leverage. And we do that by 2 pillars. It's starting with race and centering community.
Yeah, I think it's so important. You know, oftentimes now, I think more and more people are getting used to it, but the idea of starting with race or even centering race, people are like, well, why? Because when we look at the statistics, we keep seeing that there are certain numbers that are driven racially. And so in order for us to draft and craft solutions around that, we have to be very intentional about it. So I love hearing that. But also, how do you get your name out there? I mean, right, you're talking about 11 years of really working the ground, being in community. I think is so key to that. Tell us about some of the ways that y'all do outreach so folks know what you're doing.
Absolutely. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, but we also have really strong networks. So we have a community leadership team that has powerful leaders that are well networked. And so then we are able to be in many different spaces between this leadership, I would say, alignment or work that we can do together. Then we also have a parent leadership team who are well networked in the parent leadership work. And then we have a youth storyteller project where we have 5 youth who've told stories and created their own podcasts or created their own white papers. And so just being connected and making sure that I always call people, it's hard to let this stuff go because it's my life work. And so I'm always connecting every day. Like I live and work and breathe. So it's constantly connecting who's doing what, like what is Trae up to? What is Auburn School District up to? What is happening in Federal Way? So just always staying connected through all these partnerships and relationships building realty.
I think the coalition model makes so much sense here when we're
Absolutely.
talking about education, because it does take, I mean, they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it's real. And when you bring that village mentality into the work of education, specifically when you say education results, then people go, so what are the goals?
Yes.
And so I got to ask about those goals. When we think about results, what is it that is really trying to be achieved here?
Absolutely. So Roadmap Project, we support the project, has adopted the goal to increase the number of kids on track by 2030. So 70% of the kids will be on track to receive their credential or the certification. So starting with P16 track, so early learning all the way to college and career, what are those points in that space that we need to push on? So I would say right now, the biggest point is our post-secondary enrollment. We see a very large drop in post-secondary enrollment over the last 3 to 4 years. Black students are stagnant. We lost about 1% in that. So you would say, oh, we didn't lose that many, but we were already at the below the area, right? So we have to work even harder now, because you're always leveraging. So in our belief system, starting with race, leveraging and focusing on Black students and what they need in that space will bring everyone up. So I'm in this year, this first event that you'll talk about later is hopefully a series of events that we can begin to find out, is that the right goal now, or do we need to adjust the goal and actually become more critical to the systems and how things need to be moved?
Yeah, well, this is so important. That's why I'm glad we will be talking about the events y'all have coming up later with Sebrena. But I got to give you time. If folks are like, hey, I need to plug into this effort, I have something to offer. Maybe I'm a retired teacher or in the education field, and they want to connect with CCER. Look right there and let them know how they do that.
So you can reach us by roadmapproject.org, or you can directly reach out to me, which is cbbanks@ccedresults.org. Either way, you can also just Google my name and it'll come up, and any way to reach me is the way to reach me.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Carlina.
you.
Finally, we made it happen.
I know, right? Finally.
Well, and also, this is a platform too. So as CCER grows, as more events come up, please feel free to connect with us here on The Day with Trae. This is the platform to really elevate what you're doing.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wow, y'all. I get the pleasure of talking to Miss Sebrena Burr, who's coming up next. She's going to be telling us more about this amazing event that they have coming up, the Regional Alignment Convening. And I'm excited to get some of those details into your brain. Stay tuned right after this short break. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Africa Town Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africa Town Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africa Town Plaza is a love letter to the community.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time, watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down. Got my heart, no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in, then break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the shower. Part 2, we don't need no pause. We miss you, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel. Face the fact that. Copy my steel. Face the fact that.
Pacific Northwest Ballet presents Swan Lake, the world's most beloved ballet. Two weekends only. Tickets at pnb.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. Of course, I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get the pleasure of continuing this conversation about CCER with Miss Sebrena Burr. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great.
Well, I'm glad you could make it too, because I thought it was so important to have both of y'all here today to really talk about now this upcoming event, the Regional Alignment Convening. We heard about the Roadmap Project a bit there with Carlina. Tell us more about this event coming up.
So we have not had a convening since 2020. This regional alignment convening is so important.
Our keynote speaker is Dr. Ben Danielson, which is very incredible. The community leadership team has been working on a Black community statement of love. And it's very important when we talk about the Black community that we talk in the spirit and the energy of love. I have never met a Black parent who did not want the teachers in the schools to not love their children the way they do. So often we talk about anti-Blackness, but we really have to look at our community, our people, and most important, our children, and the spirit and the energy of love, and the gifts and the resilience of our people. And so this event will center that statement. The keynote from Dr. Ben Danielson will come from that spirit and energy of love. He's an amazing leader that leads with love, and you tell the difference. And so when we talk about our children, what they need and the success, most importantly, they need love. They need truth. And we need to start talking and having these conversations, hold accountability, recognize our resilience as a people in the spirit and the energy of love. And that's what this convening will allow us to get together and have that conversation, because the answers lie in community.
Yeah, no,
Right?
100%. I mean, and you're talking about this community statement of love, right? Tell us more, because it looks like a lot of people poured into this statement. As I was learning about it, it really opened up the opportunity for folks to contribute in a collective way. Tell us more about how y'all got folks to participate and drafted this amazing statement.
We worked on a statement. The statement originally was a Beloved Blackness statement. We realized that that was trademarked by Dr. Brunel Anderson, and it was about the work that she was doing. We really wanted to honor her work. And so we went back to the drawing board. And we were very intentional about love, about recognizing the history and the legacy of our community. Organizations like CAYA that were around in the 60s that are still around taking care of our babies after school today. Organizations like Africa Town, just the amazing work that's really happening. Even the African American male achievement within Seattle Public Schools, something that we watched about 5 years ago, Black man standing up behind a young Black boy telling his story on the night that that office was approved. Just now seeing Mia Williams get an award from the Seahawks. So many organizations. This is a living document, and it's from the community, for the community, and we have to change how we talk about it. We have to demand more to make sure that our children are thriving. Because right now in Seattle Public Schools, 17% of students are making academic standards. And that's not acceptable, but the answers lie in our communities. The answers lie in our families. The answers lie in our students. And this is a chance for us to have that conversation from a high vibration.
Yeah.
We know we're spiritual vibrational beings. And when our kids cannot even give the words, we know they feel in their spirit. So this is a chance for us to come together, high vibration energy, and find solutions through love.
Yeah. Well, this is love as a foundation is so necessary, and it's oftentimes not connected to education. So I really appreciate CCER for the intentionality that y'all are bringing around foundationally setting this in love, and also allowing community folks and groups and members and leaders to pour into that love statement. Because it is necessary. And so when you think about some of the things you really want attendees to walk away with after they come to the convening, connecting with CCER, what are some of those kind of target areas you really want to make sure folks understand in terms of how they can contribute to the solutions?
In the statement, there's ask for different stakeholders, for district leaders, for philanthropists, for families. And I really want people to walk away with an action. that they're accountable for something that they, in a high vibrational way, can commit to creating a change, whether it's individual, whether it's organizational, whether it's a community. It takes all of us. It takes us being intentional, not just saying, yeah, we'll do it, but actually showing with our actions. So we will know that we were successful by the actions, by the alignment that comes together, by when Black organizations go out to funding, how funders really see us in a high vibrational way. Instead of so often our grants are looked at low vibrational because they don't understand the community. They don't understand the high impact, and they don't know that we know our community better than they ever will, and that there's trust there, there's truth there, there's love there, and there's high standards there.
Yeah.
And we have to demand higher standards for our kids because we know our kids are brilliant, and so often they're not performing because of the vibration that they're feeling. They feel when you don't believe that I can be in highly capable because of the color of my skin. And so we have to change that. And we have to do that through showing, through action, and through letting families and students help to lead this work. And so that's what this is about. This is about all of us coming together at the table and really defining what we're going to do in action to change the outcomes for our children.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about action, that's got me, because oftentimes we go to some of these events and it's very theoretical, and we're hearing a lot of theory. And I think that our community, in particular Black community, is washed out with theory. And it's about time that we have some action items on the ground. I love this idea of accountability because it really is on all of us and what we can do. So I'm so grateful to hear that that's something that you really want attendees to walk away with, what they can do. And maybe, you know, in terms of the networking style of what you'll offer, they can make the connections to really make that accountability real for them. So it's also not something that's surface level, but getting into the depths of the needs of our students and our families. So I really appreciate you for joining me today. Of course, I got to give you time because people got to know how they get to this event. Look right there and let them know how they get their tickets and come to this amazing Regional Alignment Convening.
So roadmapproject.com. It's our Regional Alignment Convening. It's February 29th at the Renton Pavilion Event Center. It's from 10 to 2. And it's an event that you will most definitely want to be in the room.
Yeah, Sebrena, thank you so much for your work on the leadership team and for coming here to share this amazing opportunity with all of us in community. I'm looking forward to connecting with y'all after, see how it went.
And
how are the
lastly,
results?
if I just can say, we all have to make these districts show us their work.
Yeah.
They tell us the narrative, but let's make them show us the work.
There it is.
Yeah.
Put it on us now. Thank you. I'm going to take that directive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wow, y'all. What an amazing show today. Huge shout out to all of my guests. Am Tehuti Khamau, who will be here on this coming Sunday, y'all, right there at Langston Hughes. The doors open at 12:30. You want to make sure you get there. It's going to be a phenomenal event. Amazing healers with massage and Reiki. You're going to learn about how your birth, the time and date of your birth, actually can play into your spiritual development. And you heard him share that he's got 40 years of experience with all that he's going to be sharing. So a huge honor to have him coming here to the Pacific Northwest area for the first time with this. So make sure you grab your tickets today. And of course, huge shout out to the representatives from CCER, Miss Carlina and Sebrena, for bringing their brilliance here, and to the efforts of CCER so that we do have an anchoring institution around making sure these districts are being accountable to the results for our students and families. Clearly, y'all know me. The inspiration is always there. I want y'all to be inspired because we got 3 examples today of how people are utilizing their life's energy to pour into others. Whether it's from a spiritual perspective, education, or community, you got to hear from 3 separate folks who are doing that work. And I encourage you all to be inspired as much as I am, because no matter what you do, for work or in your community, when you are pouring into these kinds of efforts and into others, you definitely are seeing yourself as a part of the solution. So feel free to find your pathway to do just that, as all of my guests here have today. And of course, for me, y'all, until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.